What up? It's your girl Motivation with V, and this is Get Real with V. Welcome back. This is season 3, and today I'm alone, and this is going to be the first solo podcast episode. So, what to expect in this season? It's going to be a mixture of solo episodes of me, but also still interviewing badass individuals from the Bay Area that are shaking things up, entrepreneurs, founders, creatives, influencers, you name it, people that are creating an impact within their community. So it'll be a mixture of both. So you guys can get to know me a little bit more and just a little bit of my expertise and my lived experience. I wanted to start off this podcast episode with asking you a question. Have you ever had an idea that popped in your head, but you never actually went for it? But this idea never left you, because this podcast was an idea that came up for me. And it came up years ago that I wanted to start a podcast. But there was always these negative thoughts and beliefs that would pop up in my head, like, am I good enough? Will people actually want to listen to me? Do I even know what I'm talking about? These are negative thoughts that would come up in my head. And I was like, no. So I wouldn't do it. But had I listened to those thoughts, I would not be here right now. I started in my living room with a mic I ordered on TikTok and just my laptop, and I ordered Riverside software. And I just said, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. Let's just do it. To now being in a studio, starting with season 3, I've met some amazing, amazing human beings on this podcast. I've created community. I'm building community from this podcast. And I honestly didn't even realize how powerful this podcast is, this platform. And even being invited to events and interviewing folks on the streets has been phenomenal. This past Saturday, I did an event with Mission Loteria on 24th in Mission, and it was so powerful because I was able to interview everyday people that had a story, and a lot of them got emotional. They shed some tears, and it just reminded me why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is about honoring you. This is about highlighting you and your story and what you've gone through and healing out loud, because when you are able to say things out loud, you heal a part of yourself. I'm a therapist. I'm transitioning from the corporate world now into my therapist role. And I'm very big on healing. I'm very big on voicing yourself and saying things out loud and being transparent with each other and having those conversations. And for those that have been here since season 1, you would know I interviewed my family, my cousin, my mom and my dad, and a lot of the things that they were saying were things that they hadn't said in decades. And a part of them healed those, but also a part of me healed those days as well. Just being able to listen to what my dad went through, listen to what my mom went through, and her sharing her grief for the first time since she lost her father was huge. That was huge for her, but also for me to really understand, like, wow, you've been carrying this pain for so long, and you finally get a moment to share it and cry about it. And with my dad, we didn't really have a great relationship growing up. And because of my podcast and because of my journey of healing and becoming a therapist, I've been able to have transparent conversations with him in how I felt growing up with an absent father, and him acknowledging my pain and acknowledging what he went through in his own experience. That was huge for me. It was huge for him. And now we're rebuilding our relationship. And this is what this podcast is about. It's about vulnerability. It's about healing. It's about love. It's about realizing that we all have a story. We've all been through something. And I hope that from the interviews that I do, you get some gems from it. I hope that there's something that sticks with you, that pushes you to want to level up in your life. Back to my question. I had asked you guys if there was a time where an idea came up and it just wouldn't go away. That is source reminding you to do it. It's planting a seed in you to do it. There's a reason why it keeps coming up. And I'm telling you this from experience, because I had this thought of starting this podcast for a long time. And when I finally said, fuck it, let's do it, it led me into so many opportunities, so many open doors, open windows. I've met amazing human beings. I'm building community. I've always said that I've wanted to be in the community and be part of the community and make a change and make a difference. But how can I do that from being at home? I was just at home wanting to make an impact. But with this podcast and with being at events and going to community events and helping out all these events as a volunteer, it has pushed me to actually build real community and make an impact because I'm there in person and I'm meeting all these amazing human beings that have a story, that have gone through something. And I'm able to just stand there, listen to them, hold space for them, and gas them up, make them feel good, help them build their confidence just by having a conversation with them. So if you got an idea, act on it. You might not have everything figured out. It might not be perfect, and that is okay. You'll figure it out. Trust me. As I started building this platform, like I said, it started with a TikTok mic, Riverside software, and my laptop. And then it grew to me learning how to edit my own clips, how to edit my own videos, and how to do it all. I'm a one woman shop. I do it all. But I am aware that it is important to have a team. So I am starting to build a team with Get Real with V podcast, which I'm excited for, because you can't do this alone. You can start alone, right? But you really truly need a team that aligns with you and that wants to collab with you and truly help you elevate, and also you help them elevate. But I wanted to give you guys a couple of updates on my life. As I mentioned earlier, I am transitioning from the corporate world to being a therapist. And my God, just the break in between has been amazing. Like, one thing I've learned this past couple years while I was in school and working full time is that I really work my ass off when I'm at any job that I'm at. Like, I always give it 150%. And I remember as an executive assistant, I was like, if I can be so good at this job that I hate, sorry, but I wonder how great I would be if I did something I loved and I was passionate about. And that was the beginning for me to actually go after my dreams, my goals, my audacious goals. But yeah, the corporate world is not for everyone. That 9 to 5, for me, I was working 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 because my boss would call me after hours. She would call me on the weekends, and I'm her executive assistant and I'm on salary. So she's the president. There are a lot of things that are urgent and you got to make sure that you get things done. But it took a lot on my mental, and I questioned this job a lot because I was like, I should not. I'm like working 24/7 for this job, and I also have grad school. I also have my practicum. Like, I'm working on my side hustles, my side things, and it took a lot on my mental. And that's why last year I was able to do everything, but I had to sacrifice a lot. I stopped going out, I stopped drinking, and I solely focused on work, school, practicum, the gym, and staying my ass at home, literally, because I didn't have time. Oh, and also I had started this podcast, so I was recording on my days off. My whole point is that, I'm transitioning from the corporate world to doing what I want to do, working for myself, being an entrepreneur, working on this podcast, and working on my dreams. I've always had a dream of wanting to be a motivational speaker. This year, I am part of a cohort with Latina Presente, and I'm giving my first keynote speech on Thursday. I mean, I'm doing things that I've always dreamed of. And that goes into, have you ever pictured yourself another version of yourself? Do you sometimes sit there and you're just like, I want more for my life. I know I can be more, but it's not possible. And you start saying these things in your head and you're like, I want more. That was me. I've always was like, damn, what am I doing with my life? I'm just partying, I'm just drinking, and I work, right? But I want to do something that feels fulfilling. I feel like I'm not living to my highest potential. And I had to get real with myself and have a conversation with myself and ask myself, am I really aligning myself? Like, am I really living how I want to be? Am I really putting in the work to be the person I see myself to be? And I wasn't. All the things I was doing wasn't aligning with what I actually wanted. I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to make an impact and just be someone who vibrates on a higher frequency, that is working on their mental, on their physical, going to the gym, eating healthy, doing things that better me and healing myself. And I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? And it was hard. It wasn't easy. And I'm telling you, when you want to change, when you feel like you can be here but you're here, it's so hard and uncomfortable, because you have to you literally have to isolate yourself and figure out the things that you need to do. For me, I had to stop going out. I stopped drinking. Also, the drinking wasn't productive for me, and it wasn't doing me a service, because I would drink and drink and then I'd be unproductive for like 2 days. And I'm 36. So, you already know how that hangover feels. It takes like a week. But my point is that I had to really audit my life and how I was operating, and I wasn't operating at my highest self. So, I was like, okay, gym, meal prep, meditation, ground myself, no more partying, no more drinking, focus on my projects, which was this podcast, focus on school. I wanted to finish school and get good grades and graduate with honors and just finish. And also focusing on therapy, because I was doing practicum and I wanted to make sure that I could show up for my clients. So that was the turning point for me. And I started operating in that way. And that's why you see where I'm at now. I had to become that person in order to get there. I had to get real with myself in order to get there. So if you're someone who is thinking about wanting to change, you feel like you're lost, like you don't know what your passion is or what you're meant to do, just start. What I would say is look at who you want to become and look at their characteristics and what they do and follow that. That's the best advice I can give you. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of entrepreneurs and founders, and a lot of them exercise, a lot of them meditate, a lot of them ground themselves. A lot of them do things that help them elevate daily. And so I was like, okay, that's what I got to do. The one thing I do need to work on is reading, because I got, first of all, I have ADHD. So when it comes to reading, it's so hard for me to like actually take in what I'm reading. So I have to sometimes reread things over. And that's frustrating for me. And that's why I don't really read. The only kind of books that I have been able to read are the personal development books, because it's something that I'm interested in. I want to grow as a person. So those books interest me. That's just my advice for the day. And another update in my life is, as I mentioned last year, I'm on a sober journey right now. I actually stopped drinking last year of January. And that whole year, I think I only drank 2 or 3 times. So I like to tell people that my sobriety journey didn't start till last year of August, because that was the last time I ever had a drink. And the reason why I bring this up is not so you stop drinking. It's just to tell you how much it has gave me clarity, it has changed my life, and has forced me to look at how alcohol was showing up in my life. I feel like within my family growing up, I remember every party, there was beer, there was alcohol, there was bottles. I remember looking forward to being older and being like, oh, I can't wait till I could turn up and start drinking. And that's what excited me. And now I look back and I'm like, this is poison. Like, we're literally celebrating with poison. Like, this is crazy. I'm killing myself. I'm putting stuff in my body that's not good for me. But I didn't get that reality check till later in my life. And it wasn't doing me a service because I would black out sometimes. I feel like I would, when I was drunk, I was operating and it was a whole different person. It wasn't this person you see here. And the next day I felt like shit. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that version of me. That's not how I want people to meet me or know me as. I want to be present. I want to show up fully at my highest self. And so that's why I was like, you know what? Let me just let me put it down. Also, disclosure, for a second I was like, am I an alcoholic? Because sometimes when you're like, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna take a month off. But then you like keep drinking. That was me. Like I would say I'm gonna stop, and then someone would call me to go out and they were all drinking, and I was like, fuck it. So I'm gonna drink. So then I'm like, okay, I need to be able to not drink. Like this is crazy. So it was a more for my journey and proving to myself that I want more for my life. And so that's what made me just kind of stop drinking. And like I said, I've had to deal with a lot of things in my life sober, which is new for me and crazy, but it has been great because I've been able to really feel things and really heal. So nothing to anyone that likes to drink and have a good time. You deserve it. It's your life at the end of the day. This is more for me. And if you've also been sober curious or you feel like alcohol and partying hasn't been serving your highest self, then I definitely recommend to just take a look at it and see how it's showing up for you. And if you want to have a drink here and there or have wine here and there, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's more of like breaking generational patterns within my family because when when I was in grad school, I found out like through my family web, they make us do like this. I forgot what it's called, but it's like I'm gonna say it's like a family web where you put your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, cousins, and every single one of them has a theme. And the one theme that was on there was alcoholism, and that's huge. Like that was a moment for me. And that's what made me be like, you know what? This isn't healthy. This isn't good. I shouldn't be using alcohol as a coping mechanism. So that's a little bit about that journey. Okay, let's transition into a couple of things that I've learned. This one's very important, you guys. So, something I've learned, and the reason why it took me a while to come back and make season 3 is because I needed to rest. Rest is resistance. Rest is important. And I know some of you can relate to this because especially growing up in a Latin household, we see our parents working multiple jobs, sometimes working overtime, working their ass off. And I feel like for myself, I had to work, 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 work. And when it came to resting, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't even on my day off, I still had to do something, a side business or something because I just didn't know how to rest. I felt I equivalated rest to lazy. And that has a lot to do with also growing up, right? Like for me, when I was at home and I was like laying down or whatever, and I would tell my mom, I'm bored. She would call me lazy or tell me, well, go clean or, do something. So I feel like now I connect the dots back and I'm like, oh, it makes sense why I can't rest without thinking I'm lazy. And it was a hard thing to unlearn because I had moments, even at home, where I'm just laying there. Everything's done, but I'm just laying there and I feel guilty for just laying down and doing nothing or scrolling or binging on a show. But it's something I had to unlearn and realize that rest is essential. You need rest. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a parent, rest is important. So I wanted to make sure that I emphasize that because I'm being more intentional this year with everything, with this podcast, with my new career that I get into. I want to make sure that I prioritize resting. I want to prioritize having more vacation time. Don't burn out. It's a real thing. A lot of people are burning out. I was starting to burn out at my job. There's so many people at my job at my last job now that are burning out and their mental health is really, really taking a toll because they're wearing multiple hats and they're not getting paid for what they do. It's not worth it. your health, you're what's worth it, because you can get replaced at any time. That is the truth. I left my job and guess what? Someone already replaced me. I even trained her. So that's just the reality. We put these corporate jobs first and we don't put ourselves first. You can't pour into your job or your family if you're not pouring into yourself first. Rest is important. And that goes into slowing down and being more intentional and not rushing. A big thing I've been doing is meditating. I try my best to do it every day, but some days I forget to. But I'm being more intentional with giving myself at least 5 minutes. I'm telling you, five, it seems like nothing, but those 5 minutes when you just put on something on YouTube where it's like a guided meditation, and they have guided meditations for everything. I really recommend just go on there, even if you can for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I know it's hard, especially when our brain is like, and as someone who has ADHD, my brain is constantly everywhere. But I promise you, like those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 that I take, when I come out of my meditation, I feel so much more lighter, so much more calmer, and I even speak calmer. And it has helped me in my everyday life. And I'm more calm. I'm cool, calm, and collective. And I think things through now. And I come up with solutions. And I'm like, okay, so this is a problem, but all right, let's think this through. How can we fix this problem? So for me, slowing down has been huge for me. And especially in the world that we live in where everything's go, 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 slowing down is so important. Slowing down is essential. And that's how starting this year. That's what I'm doing the rest of this year is taking my time, being intentional, meditating, grounding myself, doing things that help me. And I hope that, you take a little something from my story and what I've gone through and where I'm currently at right now in my life. But yeah, so stay tuned, you guys. I have so much in store for you this season. There's going to be amazing guests, people that I've met with, network with these past couple of months who are making things happen in the Bay, nonprofit founders, entrepreneurs, creatives, folks that are building nothing to something or have built something from nothing, and that are trying to also build community and also be more known so they can make an impact in their community. What I'm doing this year is not only am I doing this podcast, but I am going to continue going out to events, continue interviewing folks, meeting people in person, or like they say, IRL in real life. And I'm going to continue going to events that I get invited to, community events where I can volunteer or I can show up, maybe even create a video for them to help small businesses, people that are coming from nothing or are trying to put themselves out there. I'm nobody big. I don't have like a huge following. I'm not this famous person and whatnot, but hey, if I can help you and put you in front of my audience, my people, why not? That's how I feel we need to be this year. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to feel a shift. There's a shift in this world right now where I feel like it's being more community led. More people are trying to be in community. And I see it in threads, I see it on social media. People are coming up with a lot of community events. It's a little overwhelming because I'm like, okay, I want to go to all of them, but the reality is I can't. But that's amazing to see because it shows that we all figured it out. We all need each other. We all need to empower each other and support one another. So that's what you're going to see more of me is me going out there, supporting folks, embracing them, empowering them. And I'm excited for you guys to get to know the new guests that are going to be on for season 3 and to also get to know me a little bit because I feel like I haven't been on here by myself as much since I started interviewing folks. And I want you to see what I got going on and what I'm doing. But also, I am working on something as well. I'm working on a couple of projects, to be honest. But the one that I'm going to come out with soon is my coaching program. And I'm only going to take a few ladies that want to work on their inner confidence. I'm currently working on the details and the logistics of it, but it should be coming out mid-May. So Stay tuned for the details. I will be posting everything. I'm so excited. There's so many amazing things happening. I'm doing things that I said I've always wanted to do. And sometimes when I'm there and doing it, I'm like, is this real life? Is this really happening? Like sometimes I be tripping out. You see, I don't need to do drugs because I just be like living life and I'm just like, this real? Like this is really happening. But this is what happens when you just say yes and you just go for it, even when you feel uncomfortable, even when you're like, I'm not ready, and you just go for it. And out of nowhere, you just look back and you're exactly where you said you've always wanted to be. So that's where I'm currently at right now. I just can't believe how life is unfolding for me. I'm so, so grateful to be building community. So, so grateful for this platform and so grateful for the tribe I'm building and everything I'm accomplishing. You guys are going to see me on a stage near you, motivational speaker, Veronica, AKA Motivation with V. There's so many amazing things that I'm going to be putting out there. So stay tuned. And if you guys have any questions, you guys want to hear anything from me or my guests, please, please comment on the comments and let me know if there's any topics you want me to talk about, anything you want me to cover, or any questions you have. I want to be a source for you and give you gems. This is all free. This is nothing you got to pay for. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, like and comment, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on your social medias. I don't ask for much, but just to please subscribe if this aligns with you, of course. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'm so grateful to be here. I'll see you guys soon. So stay tuned for the next episode, which will be with a guest. Love y'all.